Ma, look. That baby ain't got no root.
Yeah, his legs crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mama say my head look like a mop. What y'all think? I call it good hair.
Kaylen Johnson was a young mother who was bursting with love and hope for her 2-year-old son Kaden and the unborn child inside of her. Her relationship with Brynnen Murphy, the father of her unborn child, was tense, even though she was expecting her second child and a new chapter was about to begin. Johnson was taken from the world as the mother she was going to become and as the mother she was, and Brynnen, filled with anger, ended her life with ruthless finality. The terror, however, did not end there. Brynnen seized Kaden, an innocent 2-year-old, in an instant of unimaginable cruelty. The 2-year-old was left to starve to death when he carelessly threw the boy into the bridge. A story of pain and disbelief, their lives stolen in a night of madness, served as a reminder of how fragile life and love can be when evil takes control. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Kaylen and Kaden's family and friends. On April 13, 1997, Mrs. April Johnson Fleming and Mr. Jewel Stevenson welcomed Kaylen Siobhan Johnson, also known as Big Ma, into the world. Born October 18, 2019, Kaylen was a loving mother to her 2-year-old son, Kaden Johnson. Kayla was a sweetheart and compassionate woman. Her son was an adorable baby with beautiful eyes. Kaden suffered from ADHD and autism. According to many who knew her, Kaylen was intelligent, book-smart. All those who encountered her had a connection with her. She was a devoted person who would go over and above to support others. Johnson was much loved, and she cherished her son dearly and would often take him everywhere she went. On March 5, 2022, Kaylen's mother received a Facebook text message from her friend inquiring about her whereabouts. She asked the other members of the family right away if they had heard from her and if she had been speaking to anyone else. Upon visiting her apartment, her family discovered it was locked. After questioning a man she was seeing, he informed them that their relationship had ended and he hadn't spoken to her since. Her relatives filed a missing persons report since they were unable to contact her. Since she and her son had not been heard from since March 5, the family subsequently requested on March 11, 2022, that the Baton Rouge Police Department perform a wellness check. Upon arriving at the apartment, the officers saw nothing suspicious. Johnson's relatives continued to attempt to contact her, but the call was unsuccessful since her mobile was disconnected. Police discovered Johnson's automobile without the license plate on it, despite the fact that they had not found anything in her residence. That sparked concerns among law enforcement. She had the car seat all the way back when the family looked inside her vehicle. She sits up under the driving wheel. Her family said she's short. It looks like someone else had been driving her car. Authorities discovered that Kaylen had dated a man by the name of Brynnen Murphy. Murphy and Johnson had dated for a year and a half. Upon questioning by the authorities, the 20-year-old claimed not to know Kaylen's location or that of her son. Murphy was contacted by others, but when he refused to provide any information, he vanished. Johnson and her 2-year-old son Kaden Johnson resided in the upscale Sherwood Apartments in the 11800 block of Old Hammond Highway, where Brynnen Murphy worked as a maintenance worker. The complex's owners forbade workers from dating residents, but they nevertheless let Murphy to remain on the job after they found out Johnson was expecting a child and that Murphy had an inappropriate relationship with the 24-year-old. The couple had been dating for a year and a few months, although there had been a lot of verbal arguments throughout that time. Murphy allegedly struggled with controlling his rage. Brynnen would talk about hitting, killing, and punching others that irritated him during their relationship. Brynnen Murphy, 20, turned himself in to the police on March 14, 2022, a few days after the suspected killings. He guided detectives to the victim's remains. Kaylen informed her friend that she had arrived home on March 5. The last thing anyone heard from her was that she wanted to get something to eat and take a bath. The court documents state that Murphy informed investigators that Johnson had picked him up from his residence that evening and that they had driven a short distance together before getting into an argument. Murphy shot and killed Kaylen after she pulled over, leaving Johnson's toddler son curled up in the back seat. When Kaylen attempted to escape the dispute while they were fighting, Murphy became enraged and the confrontation became more heated. Brynnen Murphy shot and killed Kaylen Johnson several times while she was 6 months pregnant with their daughter. Murphy went to the 8500 block of Burbank Drive, where he placed Johnson's body in a black trash bag and dropped it in a roadside ditch. Then, in a nearby forested area, he discarded the firearm he used to kill her. Subsequently, the 20-year-old is accused of driving the 2-year-old to a bridge spanning a bayou and tossing the youngster over the edge. After he threw the infant, he allegedly informed the police he could still hear the toddler screaming, but he drove off. On March 14, 2022, the lifeless bodies of Kaylen and Kaden Johnson were discovered in a forested area. Murphy was arrested on the same day and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree feticide. He was booked in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison.
We hear from family members of a mother and son killed by the mother's boyfriend. Kaylen and Kaden Johnson were reported missing earlier this month.
And joining us now in their studio is Anam Siddiqui. Monday, their bodies were found dumped. Anam, after Kaylen's boyfriend turned himself into police. What did the family have to say today?
Yeah, Kaylen and Tavarius, the family says they never imagined something like this to happen to them. Kaylen was a twin and the youngest of 4 sisters. Her family members describe her as an amazing mother and the big little sister.
Balloons, candles, and cards cover the apartment where Kaylen and Kaden Johnson lived.
She was a strong mother, strong sister.
Kaylen's sister, Tiara Johnson, spent Tuesday afternoon relighting candles, remembering this is where she would see her baby sister and play with her nephew.
That beautiful smile and them pretty eyes, he got you right there. Once you see him, he was a happy baby. Very happy.
The mother and son were found dead in separate areas in East Baton Rouge Parish on Monday. Kaylen's boyfriend, Brynnen Murphy, turned himself into police for their deaths. The coroner's office reports both deaths as homicide. Kaylen died from multiple gunshot wounds. Kaden most likely died from hypothermia after being thrown off the Central Thruway. Similar cases are too common in the Baton Rouge area, and experts say that incidents are increasing.
The numbers seem to have skewed in the upward direction.
Attorney for the Iris Domestic Violence Center, Priscilla Ray, says in the past year she has seen an uptick in cases involving guns.
I am seeing a lot of younger victims, i.e., 20, 21.
Center leaders say they are on track to beat last year's case record for clients seeking help from domestic violence situations. Unfortunately for Kaylen, it's too late for her and her unborn baby. She was expecting her second child in just 3 months.
You took 3 beautiful souls from us, one we will never get to meet. If you ever feel like you have to defend yourself for a man, leave. And I feel the same about a guy.
Police still don't have a motive. The family has set up a GoFundMe to cover the cost of the funerals. We have that link available at beareproud.com. Anam Siddiqui, Fox 44 News.
That's a devastating story, but thank you for keeping.
Murphy was not the father of a 2-year-old, but he was the father of the unborn child. He also told the police that he drove around till he reached the bridge and threw Kaden over while he was still alive because he didn't know what to do with the toddler. He went back to work the next day as if nothing had happened. According to reports, the infant starved to death and died of hypothermia. After 3 days, he passed away from exposure to the cold as well. Even though Murphy has not yet been sentenced, we wish the family the strength and bravery to make it through sentencing. We hope the memories they had of Kaylen and Kaden Johnson provide them comfort and ease as they grieve their loss. We hope their healing path goes well. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.